There's a lot that we can see with our eyes, but there's certainly a lot that we can't see with our eyes, and that's why we have access to technology to help in the diagnostic and also the development process. That's why we use launch monitors, that's why we use force plates, that's why we use 3D motion capture and others. And in Dalan's case here, the struggle of I'm striking it out of the heel and my ball is either curving left off the left start line or flaring off to the right, which we see a lot with his driver, is driven largely by stuff that we can't see. And so that's where we use the help of technology in this case. So the image, the video on the left you see here is the former, the before. And as he winds up in the backswing, he loads a lot of his pressure into his trail side, but it's in the toe of his trail foot, so his right foot. And then from there, he's a very fast player, and he rotates exceptionally well into impact, except he shifts pressure very, very early into delivery into his left heel. And that gives him the sensation of being spun out and stuck, like the club just can't catch up. Similar to a baseball hitter that decides to swing at a fastball way too late. Where is it likely to go? It's either likely to be fouled off, or it's definitely to right field. You can't swing to left field unless, as a right-handed batter, you swing early. So he's catching the pitch late, essentially. And that all shows up when we look at the way he interacts with the ground using force plates. He lacks a lot of the vertical force that typically would be associated with high ball speed, high swing speed players. And that tells me that not only can we clean up the strike, the quality of ball control, but we can also add more speed to the swing. So now let's glance at the picture on the right over here, which is the after image. And what I've cued him to do here is I've cued him to feel like his pressure goes into his right heel at the start of the swing, the handle follows it, and then he moves pressure down and into his left toe as he's traveling into the downswing. And you can see that drill that he was doing to really amplify that sensation. The rub here is that he's typically landing the club too far away from him and striking heel contact. And if we go back and I show you what we definitely can see in the former image that then creates that heel contact, it's actually counter to what intuitively we would think. What happens is his mass moves further away from where it starts, which typically would result in a toe contact. But what he's learned to do, the adaptive quality of really good players, is they stretch the club and their arms away from them, and they'll create heel contact from that. That was turning the lights back on. So what we've got is we've got kind of a very difficult situation. One of the comments that I made to Dalan was, you know what, this is probably not going to be easy, but it's most definitely correct. We need to adapt not only the way your body moves working against the ground, but we also need to adapt the way your arms swing back to impact so we don't net out shanks. And so that's what you see on the right-hand side, getting back to the adjusted. That's what we see the stick on the ground for. It serves as a reminder to swing the club back down in front of him rather than too far away. And that's what we were using, that jump the fence drill. So there was really two drills that we were talking about right here to try and yield that centers of contact. So let's take a look at the adjusted. On the adjusted, you see, if you just watch the pressure and stance in the bottom right-hand side of the screen, you will see pressure move immediately back into his trail heel. There we go, to the top of the swing. And then pressure move relatively linear, so parallel to the target line, out into his left toe box. Let me play it again. Right heel, left toe box, and a changed impact location, a changed club delivery. Now let's reference TrackMan. So as I described, when we're looking at using technology to not only help us create a level of diagnostics and also a level of feedback during a session, we can also use it as a check and balance, right? We need to know that we as coaches and also the player themselves are actually getting better. So we had a club delivery for Dalan before of 91 miles per hour at a ball speed of 121, spin rate 7,500, and total carry with his 8-iron of 162. We also had driver of 116, 169 ball speed, but a spin rate because of that low heel contact of 3,183 RPM. A net average carry of 281, and importantly, if you take a look at the representation of the ball flight, it's essentially all over the place. He's got balls that start left, curve left, balls that start left, curve right, balls that start right, curve right, and balls that start right and curve left. Not a great situation when you're trying to play high-level golf. That's a shotgun splatter. Whereas when we go to the 8-iron adjusted, remembering we had 91, 120, now we've got 93.5, 127 miles per hour for a total carry distance of 171.6 and all ball flights are now right starting draws, which is the desirable ball flight. What happened with driver? Remember, starting point 115.7, 169, 281. Now we've got 115, 171, 2200 RPM, 295.8 carry, 317 on the ground. So what difference is that? We've got a difference with our driver of over 22, 23 yards right there, just with that one change, and we've got a difference of close to 10 yards with our 8-iron. And that change is all the way up the bag. So what's to be learned from this? Seek help. Don't try to do it alone. Even coaches themselves need the aid of technology to validate the recommendations are correct, and sometimes it's going to be a little bit more difficult than easy. Sometimes it requires us to call a combination play, if you will. Sometimes we need to adjust body, and sometimes we need to also adjust the way our arms and club are returning back to impact. But most definitely, better results are in your future.